Hey guys, SK here, back with another Clash Royale video. Hope you guys are all doing well. I'm currently top 500 in the world at 7,200 trophies playing 3.0 Xbow Cycle on top ladder. You guys pretty much know the drill at this point. I'm just making a bunch of 3.0 ladder pushing videos, and I plan to continue to do so for majority of the season. So playing with Electro Spirit again, and queue time is going to take quite a while now that we're up high, so I'm going to cut it and get back at you guys when we find a game. Alright, so we found a match against CHN Sparky. This is actually my friend, so I think we're going to play it out because it is early season. Yeah, he gives good luck, so I'll give it back, and let's go. So, I'm friends with Sparky. He's normally an Xbow Rocket player. We do see the skeletons, but I know he's pretty good at Cycle in general, so we'll just have to see what he's playing today. Gonna go for an Xbow, does go for a Miner, gonna go Knight to predict the Inferno Tower. Nice, because yeah, after seeing Electro Spirit plus Miner, I knew that it's the Nate deck. With Miner Rocket, so gonna log this back, gonna go for an E-Spirit for the Dark Prince as well, and he does go for a log, but we actually get the E-Spirit to connect, so that's really good. He has an E-Spirit of his own. He did actually stall out my Xbow pretty well, but we do get a tiny connection, so that's gonna be a nice lead to start this out. I'm actually gonna go for an Xbow right now because he should be quite low on Elixir after that exchange, and he kind of has to Rocket right now. I don't think he can Inferno Tower. Okay, he does go I Tower, but yeah, as I said, he was too low on Elixir to play it in time, so that's just gonna be like 1,000 damage pretty much. Really good stuff there. And I was looking for the log emote because I really like it. I used to have it in my emote deck. I guess I switched it out, or maybe I have it on my other account. But yeah, really good lead against Miner to start out. Again, he does have Rocket in this deck, so he can get some Miner Rocket cycle going in triple. So getting an early lead is quite important if you can help it, and that's why I was kind of going aggressive to start out. I'm going to go for a Knight for this Dark Prince, log it back to take care of the shield early, and I was going to cycle log anyway, so it kind of makes sense to do that. Gonna E-Spirit Skeletons for this Miner, hopefully only take one hit. Okay, we took two, but it's fine. Gonna Expo now. I have my Knight supporting, and he just used log, so he should be quite low. Like, he just played E-Spirit plus Rocket as well, so he should be very low in Elixir after that. But this is still looking good. I'm still up 1,000 damage. And this is not a great matchup, I would say. I would say it's like 60-40 in his favor if I have E-Spirit. It's probably closer to even if I have Ice Spirit, but I still think if a Miner player plays it perfectly, they should be able to win. Gonna go for an E-Spirit to try and retarget this Miner, and then he does go for a Dark Prince. I'm gonna Fireball it off, actually, because they can't really punish your Fireball cycle that much in this matchup. Gonna go for a Tesla, and he does go for the Rocket, but this is what I was talking about. Like, you can't really do that. And he does go for I-Tower as well, but it goes right into my Tesla, so I think this is pretty much game. Xbow is still distracted right now, but yeah, he doesn't have much Elixir, wasn't back to Dark Prince, or at least couldn't get it down in time. That's going to be a good game. So I think they can Rocket Cycle you, but they have to choose the right moments. And that's why I like to Fireball Cycle, because sometimes against Logbait as well, it baits out a bad Rocket, and then you can really punish them. Because in that situation, I already had a Tesla down, so I really don't think he could have afforded to Rocket there. So that's really good stuff. But yeah, that's going to be GG against my friend Sparky for the first game of the video. Really nice win against the Baby Nate Miner control deck. I'm sure you guys know. Nate is one of my friends as well. He's a really good YouTuber as well, so you probably recognize the deck if you watch other Clash Royale YouTubers. But wow, plus 35. That is a lot of trophies, I have to say. But really nice win against my friend Sparky. As you can see, he's on my friends list. And that is going to put me at top 400. Alright, and we are into the next match, and wow, I just went against my friend Sparky, and now I'm against another one of my friends, Doge-tastic. Gonna give him the good luck. We usually play it out, early season at least, and he is a really good Elixir Golem player, so I know a lot of people might think E-Golem is no skill or kind of dumb, and I do agree that some playstyles can be, but he usually plays a more skilled version of the deck, at least compared to some of the other ones. Like, he doesn't play E-Barbs, Rage, Arrows, Night Witch. Like, that, in my opinion, is the definition of skillless, but he plays usually with Tombstone, I think, and kind of a more control-type variant, so I'm just going to protect my archers here. I'm going to Fireball off the Tombstone as well. I think his version, I actually lost to him before, a couple days back. And it is kind of hard to get a connection against this deck because he has Fireball, Tornado, and Log, I'm pretty sure. That's what he normally plays with. And so, yeah, there's a Tornado spell cycle. He can usually stall out my Expos pretty well, and Tombstone is also quite good at just stalling out. So I'm actually going to Expo right now and try and get a connection early on if I can help it. It does go for the E-Golem E-Drag, so yeah, really good defense. Kind of misplaced my Tesla by one tile, but it should be fine. I might regret that, but I think it should be alright. I'm going to try and activate King off this E-Drag. I think it'll be really helpful. Nice, we did get the activation off. So that should be really useful going forward. I am going to take a bunch of damage for that, unfortunately, but it's kind of the price that I had to pay for activating my King, because otherwise, if I just defended the E-Drag, I could have avoided all that damage, but I think this activation is going to be very valuable. So I'm going to go in again. That's the benefit of going in against E-Golem. Usually when you destroy the new stage blobs, you can get a really nice connection. And wow, he actually has a lightning, so I'm kind of surprised, because he normally does play with the fireball, like I said. So it looks like he actually switched up the spells, and that is going to make it a lot harder for me, I would say. The one thing that comes to mind immediately is that I can kind of stack my archers and try and use them effectively, now that he can't go for a fireball on them in the same lane. But of course, he can lightning off my Xbows, my Teslas. It's going to be very difficult. So I'm going to fireball off this baby dragon. I need to get chip damage now, because lightning does mean he can get much more damage than me. Going to Xbow opposite right away. Also went for the anti-lightning Tesla, just because. And we did force out the E-Drag on my Xbow. Going to let the Xbow die now. And I don't even want to log the Tombstone. I'm just going to save it for defense here. So I'm going to fireball off the blobs, healer, as well as the baby dragon. Then get a nice log off, and that is going to be a pretty solid defense. Going to E-Spirit for the E-Drag, and I guess skeletons as well. Baby dragon is unfortunately still alive, but I don't think I can do too much about that. Looks like he's kind of setting up in my lane now. Going to keep going with these anti-lightning Teslas. If I'm trying to bait out a Tesla, I could maybe go for a lower one, or bait out a lightning rather on my Tesla. But for the most part, I'd rather he isn't able to hit my tower and Tesla with a lightning. So that's why I'm going to keep playing them up high for now. Going to log this back. And that was actually a pretty nice defense. Going to go for a knight. Unfortunately, pretty good tornado on his end. Is going to take one of my archers out, and the other one goes opposite lane, which is kind of useless. And now he's continuing to be in the damage lead. Going to go in because I can't fireball that Tombstone. And try and protect my Tesla from the baby dragon if I can. And then E-Drag comes down. Going to fireball it off instantly. Hopefully archers target it. Okay, unfortunately they don't. But now they might. Okay, baby dragon's also alive. That kind of sucks. That was kind of the worst case scenario there. But I'm going to keep going with these high Teslas. Like, I don't really think there's much else I can do. And I kind of just have to keep going aggressive here, because if I just sit back and play defense, I'm definitely going to get overwhelmed by like an E-Golem, battle healer, lightning push. Going to get a fireball off again. Nice, I was able to hit the blobs that time. Going to log as well. I did miss some blobs with my log, but I think it's important to hit the tower, because I do need tower damage. And again, just constantly going with these Teslas. I would be playing this a bit differently if he didn't have the lightning, but just because he does, I kind of have to do it this way. Unfortunately, Knight gets distracted by the Tombstone and walks over. That kind of sucks, but I'm just going to keep going with these fireballs on the E-Drag plus the blobs. That was actually really perfect. Unfortunately, though, battle healer is kind of tanking, and now he has 2 healers on the board. This is very scary, because if he got an E-Golem down with that, that would have been really menacing. But thankfully, he just kind of resets instead. So I'm going to be able to keep going in. I have my lightning, or rather have my Tesla over here. And we did force out a lightning, so I'm going to fireball the tower instantly. I do need to get tower damage, and I just can't really allow him to get much value. I'm going to fireball this back, keep my Tesla alive, because if he goes E-Golem, I need the Tesla alive. And I was going to go in, but I definitely have to defend now. And he actually just lightnings off my archers, so Knight plus Archer will be kind of threatening. Going to E-Spirit for the Tombstone. Fireball as well, and log, and he gets a log down as well. I'm going to go archers to make sure I don't take any damage from the blobs. And I'm back to another fireball. Will it get down? And oh my god, I just barely didn't get down. But wow, we are actually tied on tower damage, so that is actually just going to be a draw. I can't believe I'm saying that, but I haven't seen that in a long time. An actual draw in a match, like, without not playing it out. Like, we actually played it out and we just tied on tower damage. That was kind of crazy, but nice game against my friend there. Alright, so we are looking for the next match after that insane draw against my friend Doge. That was a really good game. He had lightning, so it was kind of tricky. I was actually able to get my fireball down, it just barely didn't hit the tower, so it would have been kind of nice if I was able to get that off, but it's fine. Found the next match against El Papu 13. At least we didn't lose trophies though, so it was just kind of a hard-fought battle, and we just kept our ranking, so just going to split skeletons first, because if he has Logbait, I don't want to cycle my log right away. Now he's not playing anything, so I'm going to cycle my log and then split my archers. And looks like some kind of heavier deck, because I feel like he would have responded to whatever I'm playing by now. But if he still doesn't respond, I'm just going to Xbow, I guess, with this one archer. And does go for a baby dragon. It's going to switch lanes to the other side. And baby dragon means it could be golem. Okay, we do see the bowler, so probably going to be LumberLoon freeze then. Going to go for a knight over here. I could have gone knight against the bowler, but I'd rather just play safe, defend the baby dragon. It'll walk over, defend the bowler afterwards, so pretty neat little interaction there. And there's no real reason to get super aggressive, because I know this is quite a good matchup for me as long as I don't choke and play it pretty well. He does also have the baby dragon, not the electro dragon. I'm actually not sure which one is better for me, because E-Drag does mean I can activate king, but also E-Drag NATO is really good against archers. But at the same time, baby dragon is really annoying as well, because it is hard to take out. But I'm going to Xbow opposite because he's not back to his bowler right now. Knight as well. Nice, we were actually able to catch the baby dragon. And he also just used his barb barrel, which is another reason why I went in. So that's just going to be a really nice lock early on. I can't commit too much more to this baby dragon. He actually goes for a freeze, which is perfect because I wasn't really going to commit too much there. But I'm going to split my skeletons for both dragons. And that is a flawless start to this game, untouched on both of my towers. And his tower is pretty much halfway down, so if I play perfectly, this should already be a win. This matchup is kind of annoying. I know a lot of people struggle against LumberLoon, so hopefully this helps you guys with how to play it. But basically, I try and get an early lead, and then I just like to play really defensively. And I was going to go in opposite lane, but there's not really much of a point. He could just ignore it and Inferno Dragon or something, and also I would still have the bowler to deal with. And that is the side that I'm not even going for. I'm going for the left side, not the right side, so there wasn't too much of a point there. We're just going to fireball all this off. Notice how I shoved my Xbow over one tile to the left from the middle, and that's because he played the balloon all the way over at the edge there. So since I did push my Xbow over by one tile, I was actually able to kite the balloon. Gonna go archers just in case he goes for a freeze. Could not afford to choke to an Inferno Dragon freeze, of course. You always have to be careful of that. And what's really going to be key in these defenses is a fireball, or rather fireball value in general. So right here, again, I'm taking a lot of fireball value on the Inferno Dragon, on the Lumberjack, and on the bowler, and then I'm just going to get another Tesla down. He does go for a freeze, but I separated my archers all the way to the left so that he can't actually get a freeze on everything. That's another thing you really want to do, separate all your troops to avoid giving spell value. Unfortunately, the balloon does get death damage on my tower, but it's fine. Again, just resetting with this defensive Xbow, and this is the placement I like to use. Notice this defensive setup of buildings. I'll be able to kite a balloon from either side of the map, so this is really just the perfect defense, and I'm protecting my Tesla from the eye drags every single time. He's not back to a bowler, I'm pretty sure, so I'm going to go for an Xbow. He might be now after he went for the barb barrel, but I'm just going to log, and I could actually go for a knight to protect. Okay, unfortunately baby dragon does lock on, but it looks like we still kind of made him panic a bit and go for a freeze, so that's totally fine. He also messed up the tornado, so archer, one of them will stay alive anyways, and finish off the baby dragon. And you'll see that he is slowly kind of chipping me down. That's a really good reason to try and get an early connection in this match. Because if you do get like a nice lead like I got, you can just sit back like this and play nice defense for the rest of the game. Because if you look at his deck, I know he doesn't have a big spell, which is another reason defensive Xbows are so useful. But he actually has many counters to the Xbow. He has Bowler, which is a huge one. He has Inferno Dragon, another huge one. And he has the Barb Barrel, so that can be combined with anything to help as an Xbow counter. So it's really hard to get an Xbow lock, actually, in this matchup, unless he overcommits a ton. And here, again, prime example of insane fireball value. Lumberjack Bowler plus both dragons, definitely going to take it. Unfortunately, didn't hit the balloon, but it's actually good that I didn't hit the balloon, I think, because I don't want to risk hitting the balloon and then it getting pushed out of range from my Xbow. So I'm back to yet another fireball right now, and that was a really clutch night, because I wanted to make sure the Barb Barrel didn't get any hits on my tower. Back to another Tesla as well. That balloon actually did get pushed by the baby dragon. He actually goes for a freeze as well, but that is why I separated my archers once again. I'm going to knight just in case the Tesla didn't come down. I'm going to Tesla at the bridge right now, and he just can't really break through anymore. There's only 10 seconds left. As long as I just stall him out, it's going to be totally fine, and that's going to be GG. So yeah, really good stuff there. You really want to separate stuff, so if they do go for a freeze on your tower plus Tesla, you want your archers to be all the way in the corner like mine were, so they can't all get frozen. But that is going to be a really nice example of how exactly you play against this matchup, especially with Electro Spirit, which is not as good against this actually. This is one matchup where you would want Ice Spirit, but that's going to be a very nice win, and that is going to put me just barely above the top 300 in the world. Alright, and we are into the next game against a Japanese player. He does have Princess on his profile, so he could actually be playing Logbait. That is obviously just a guess. And okay, Princess at the bridge first play. It is truly going to be a Logbait player. Gonna E-Spirit and Knight. Yeah, kind of an annoying play he did. I mean, that was well played, but it is just really annoying when they do that with their Princess, where they log Ice Spirit on your archers and they die. So just kind of an annoying first play, but it's fine. I wanted to Xbow, but he's probably just going to be able to get away with an Inferno because my hand is really bad. Gonna have to log on offense here because the gang was just kind of threatening, and now I'm ready to defend this barrel. Gonna Xbow though because his hand is pretty bad now. He kind of has to rocket. Okay, actually I was really expecting him to rocket because if I predicted the Inferno tower, he pretty much would have lost. But well played to him, I guess, because expect the unexpected. Gonna go for archers plus E-Spirit. We do unfortunately take some damage. I didn't notice the barrel was in the back, so this is actually quite a suboptimal start to this game against Logbait. This is one of the main reasons I am playing Electro Spirit in the deck right now, because Logbait is pretty much everywhere. Goblin Gang so overpowered. I've talked about it a few times already, so I really just want to be prepared. But yeah, let's see if we can come back in this game. I know he wants to go Princess at the bridge whenever possible, so I have to be really careful of that. Gonna go for a Knight for the gang, and I might try and Fireball Cycle a little bit to try and catch up in damage. I also don't really want to go same lane as him, but gonna go for an Xbow because I do have a Knight counter pushing, and this should force a rocket out. I'm gonna go archers in case he goes Inferno Tower, then he would definitely lose. Okay, does actually go Princess and Inferno Tower. Wow. Gonna Tesla the bridge as well, and like I was saying, he can't really do that. He really had to rocket there, so this is going to be a huge connection. Gonna get ready with an E-Spirit to predict the Goblin Gang, and there it is, perfect. Gonna log as well, just because I actually didn't really need the E-Spirit if I was gonna log the gang anyways, but that is still a huge connection. We're up 1000 HP now, so really good stuff there. And yeah, Logbait players, they really should just rocket most Xbows, but it's usually when they try and go for a bad Inferno Tower that you can really get a nice comeback. And unfortunately, my Knight was placed just a little bit too low to catch the Princess, so just like that, he's going to get a ton of damage back, unfortunately. But I'm going to try and go in again with this Knight. He should definitely be rocketing this time. Going to Fireball the Knight. He actually might be able to get away without rocketing now because I went for a Fireball on pretty much nothing. So yeah, pretty nice defense on his end, but we should still be fine. Knight will defend all of this pretty well. I do have to be careful of a Princess at the bridge again, so I'm actually going to predict it with an E-Spirit in the middle, and also Skeletons. Actually just going to Tesla, just kind of shut it down once and for all, not really let him do that at all. And then I'm going to Fireball the Princess off. That is quite a big commitment. I just wasted 4 in a Tesla technically, but yeah, like you can see there, he is still committing to it. He actually spent quite a lot trying to kill the Tesla, so that actually worked out pretty well. Gonna go for another Xbow here, and I really think he should be rocketing this one because I do have a Knight down, so just gonna go archers in case he doesn't log as well. And wow, he is actually just really trying to defend these Xbows without rockets for some reason. He's back to another Knight, gonna Fireball it off, and E-Spirit as well for the gang. Does go Princess. Princess actually does do a pretty good job at cleaning it up, and Princess isn't even dead actually, so that kind of sucks, but I'm already back to another log, so I can just log on the barrel. Pretty good protection of the Princess on his end. Wow, he's actually doing a pretty good job. Gonna have to get a Fireball off, I think. Actually, no, E-Spirit will do the job because Princess is so low in HP, thankfully. So that is why E-Spirit is so clutch right here. And I think I want to Xbow, just gonna wait a bit for the Knight to walk in front so an Inferno Tower wouldn't target the Xbow first. Gonna log this barrel off. And he's just constantly going with Knights, so I feel like I can't really get this Xbow to connect. Gonna try anyways, but yeah, nice prediction log on his end. And I'm gonna let the Princess go for a little bit, then just go Skeletons on it. Should be fine because that's my other side tower, not really concerned at all. And yeah, I'm gonna pre-Tesla up here. If he tries to rocket cycle me, I'll already have a Tesla up. Just gonna Fireball the Princess off, and there it is, the rocket cycle. So gonna Xbow right away. Knight as well, and he does go for a low eye tower. I think he's trying to get back to a second rocket, which he should actually be able to do, but I'm going to try and Fireball Cycle in the meantime, and try and get another Xbow as well. Looks like he's just trying to do this without going for a rocket, so I'm going to log on offense here, then Archer's Spirit for the barrel. That actually didn't work out that well. I took a bit more damage than I was hoping to take, but I'm going to go for another Xbow. I really just want to stop him from going for any kind of rockets, if I can help it. But I already have a really nice damage lead, so as long as I get a log on offense, I should be able to win this one. Gonna log as well. And yeah, that is going to be a win, even if he logged. then I just have to be ready for the barrel, and I was, so it's going to be a good game. He actually played that one pretty well. He got me pretty well with some of the tricky barrels that he did, like I wasn't really able to catch them very well. So I have to say well played for that, but that's going to be a very nice win against Logbait, plus 31, nice trophies, I'll take it. And that is going to put me 1 away from 7,300, 12 away actually, but 1 win away, and breaking into the top 300 now. Alright, so a bit of an unfortunate story here. I did actually go up against Betfas in my very next game, who is one of my friends, I would say, and pretty much the best 3.0 Xbow Cycle player in the world, if not in the top 3, and definitely in the top 3 Xbow players of all time right now, in the world as well. So he's an incredible player, and playing against him in an Xbow mirror match was pretty nerve-wracking, I guess, but he kind of just got me right here at the start where I cycled a log and I just got punished really hard for it because I just didn't really have much Elixir. And then he got me with a really good Electro Spirit. I was really low on Elixir, and I just went down so much damage, so I was able to counter his Xbow with my archers late, but it just wasn't really enough at the time. And then I pretty much just got destroyed because being down that much in the Xbow mirror match, you pretty much already lose. Even though I got a little bit of damage back, he actually punished me for going for those archers as well and went for an Xbow. Thankfully, I was able to pretty much counter most of it, but he still got some chip damage, so he was even still up over 1,000 HP, and he punished me really well for that. So again, it's quite crazy, but in the Xbow mirror match, you can actually just lose just by cycling a log at the start. If you both split archers and you log and the opponent goes Xbow, you just kind of get destroyed, I guess. I mean, I guess maybe I had to fireball. I'm not sure, I'll have to think about it, but pretty much after this point, the game was already over, so I figured there wasn't much of a point showing it. But yeah, that was a bit unfortunate. It actually launched me into a tilt for pretty much a day. Like, I just lost a bunch of games after that point, losing to Betfas, and I was stuck kind of around the 7,300 range for a long time, trying to get back above 7,250 so I can finally start recording again and continue the video. And thankfully, after pretty much a day, well, after a couple hours after I lost to Betfas, I decided to just stop because I was just tilting and wasn't really enjoying myself. But then I just decided to play the next day, and I was thankfully able to win my way back up. So I was able to get my trophies back and thankfully recovered from that tilt, but still very well played to Betfas, obviously the best 3.0 player in the world right now in my opinion. And yeah, let's keep the matches going though and continue the ladder push. Alright, so we found a game against Levi. Let's try and get a nice one here. 1 away again from 7,300 after that tilt, so hopefully we can get it. I'm gonna find out what he's playing right now. Gonna split skeletons. We do see minions, so that could be really good or really bad, because it would be really good if it was lava with minions or P.E.K.K.A, but yeah, we do see the Dark Prince, and that leads me to believe that it might be Giant Graveyard, and that is a very bad sign because Giant Graveyard is a really bad matchup. And he has the queen. That's going to make it even worse, unfortunately. So I'm going to Xbow opposite right now because I don't really have a better play against the queen. I don't think fireballing it is really worth it, so I'm just going to go for the Xbow. We do force the giant out. Unfortunately, that does confirm it is going to be Giant Graveyard. Just going to get a Tesla up in the middle, which will also distract the queen, so ability is forced out on the queen, and then I can just go skeletons plus log to fully counter it. So we are doing okay to start this match out. I think we should be kind of low in Elixir compared to him after that start, though, because I did commit quite a lot. Thankfully, I can just get a free +2 against this army with the E-Spirit, and E-Spirit is going to be my saving grace in this matchup, at least, because he does have Graveyard, and E-Spirit is very nice against Graveyard compared to Ice Spirit. So I'm going to go for an Xbow right here, and I'm going to Knight to try and force the Dark Prince to jump. Unfortunately, he does get the Queen down anyway, so didn't really work out. And I doubt he's even going to use the Queen ability right here. He doesn't actually need to, so this is actually looking pretty bad right now. I do want to defend the Queen without going for a Fireball, because that would put me too low in Elixir, I feel like, so I'm just going to log it back and take some damage, I guess, because I really can't afford to commit so much. But yeah, this is not the best start against Giant Graveyard, to be honest, so hopefully we can kind of come back. I really have to be aggressive with my Xbows to try and not allow him to build up a big push. It's a lot easier said than done, though. So going to go in again. Going to split my archers for the Skarmy. Skeletons for the Giant right away because he did just snowball, but unfortunately pretty well played minions on his end. Going to have to go for a Knight to protect my archer and get this taken care of, because I would take way too much damage otherwise. And the good news is that since I am cycling a lot faster than him, I am back to an Xbow way before he's back to a giant. So I'm going to fireball this queen off right now, and this should actually be a really nice connection. Yeah, exactly, going to log the Skarmy as well. He does have to snowball as well as arrows, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, he did get the arrows done. If he didn't go for arrows, I would have gotten like maybe 500 more damage. Gonna go for a knight just because I think that would have been a Dark Prince charge. I didn't really want to take it. Although this is bad because now he has momentum on his side. He can play something on my knight and then build up a push from his side of the map. So this is looking kind of tricky. But that is a very nice early lead that I was able to get. Gonna Expo, try and prevent him from going for a giant graveyard push. And looks like it didn't really work out. He just went giant graveyard anyways, just went in my lane instead. And there's the arrows. So gonna log all of this back and then go for an E-Spirit. Again, that E-Spirit chain was able to clean up 3 skeletons, which was huge because that would have been at least 500 damage, if not more, because he did snowball. And I kind of have to predict his queens with my knight in front of the Expo every time, because otherwise queen would just fully counter. Gonna go for a fireball on this giant, and he actually did just use his snowball, I think, so we shouldn't be back to it. So arrows get forced out, but we do get another connection, which is absolutely huge. And I do want to go in right now, but I feel like he might predict me, so I want to wait a little bit just to make sure. It looks like he's not going to. Actually, he did. Gonna log the queen back, though, to make it retarget onto my knight, and then archers as well to try and DPS down the queen. We do see the Skarmy opposite lane. Gonna go for skeletons to protect my Expo. And Expo is actually on the queen, which is huge because at least the queen is dead. If the queen was still alive, that would have been really bad. Gonna knight to pull these minions into my Tesla. And we are up over 1,000 damage right now. That doesn't mean too much against Giant Graveyard, but it is absolutely crucial because now we're heading into triple. And looks like he's kind of starting to just go in my lane at this point, so I'm just going to defensive Expo instead. Archers for the graveyard. There's the snowball and arrows, so going to have to log this all back. He's actually getting a ton of graveyard damage, way more than I wanted him to get, but I guess the Expo is also distracted by the Dark Prince, and I'm pretty much just going to have to spell cycle at this point. Shouldn't be back to arrows right now. Okay, he is now. We went for a snowball. But going to go for a log, as well as E-Spirit. Wow, he's actually getting way too much damage. I have to fireball right now. Thankfully, he played really bad minions at least, so Tesla will do a really good job at taking care of them. Gonna knight to instantly DPS down this giant. He went for a queen at the bridge for some reason, I guess to get the 3-card cycle. But I don't know. I'm going to fireball the tower once again. I don't have a choice. I absolutely have to. And he did just go for arrows, which is really good for me because he's not back to them for my new pair of archers. Like, him going for arrows that early on is huge. And I really want to fireball this, but I can't. I really do have to fireball. And oh my god, that skeleton didn't get a hit. So I'm going to fireball and log and then go for an E-Spirit. And E-Spirit does chain the queen, and oh my god, that's going to be a win. I'm going to BM him just because it is Giant Graveyard, so really, really hard matchup. We were able to win just by the skin of our teeth with 100 HP, less than 100 HP. Absolutely insane. Really nice win. Really happy about that. That's going to put me past 7,300 trophies, and I'm going to go for one more. Alright guys, coming off a great win against Giant Graveyard here, let's try and get the final win against this Japanese player. Gonna give him the good luck as he gives it back, so should be in for a nice match. Does go for a barrel first play, so looking like it is going to be Logbait. Gonna Expo right away with my archers. He's also going for the Inferno Tower emote, so maybe it's classic Logbait with Inferno Tower. He might Princess the bridge with this knight right now. I'm kind of worried about that, so I do want to be a bit careful. Gonna go skeletons a bit early in case, and okay, skeletons will fully counter the knight though, and he keeps going with the Inferno Tower emote for some reason. I know Ash loves that emote, Clash with Ash, but I don't think he's on Clash with Ash, so maybe he just loves it too. Good knight in the middle. Again, you want to predict the princess at the bridge always if you can, and there it is. So gonna fireball it off. When I said there it is, I didn't mean like princess at the bridge, but there's the princess. But you always do kind of want to cycle cards in the middle against Logbait in general. Unfortunately, I did miss up my E-Spirit timing just a bit there, so I'm going to take one more Spirit Goblin hit than I wanted to. We're going to Expo opposite right away. Skeletons to predict the Inferno. Unfortunately, he is going to have Tesla. Going to go for a knight to block, and then I want to get my archers down as early as I can. Unfortunately, that was a really good Ice Spirit and Gang as well. I actually, as soon as I placed the E-Spirit down, I kind of recognized my Expo was already dead anyway, so that kind of sucks. And now I have a pretty bad hand because I don't really have much against the princess at the bridge. So Unfortunately, it is going to be Logbait Tesla. Personally, I actually dislike going against Tesla more than Inferno, just because you can defend the Xbows much easier. Like Knight Tesla, as you can see there, is undefendable against for your Xbow. Like it's guaranteed to break through. Gonna Tesla, and this should almost fully counter the barrel. He does get one stab in, unfortunately. I feel like there might be a placement with skeletons to fully counter, but I'm pretty sure that's the most optimal one, so I'm not sure. But this Tesla is nice because it kind of stops any princess at the bridge action for the entirety of the Tesla's lifetime, so it's good. But yeah, unfortunately it is going to be Logbait Tesla, and again, I feel like it's just more annoying. He does just kind of feed my Tesla a Goblin Gang though, so that is good. And really nice E-Spirit chain there to fully counter the gang. And then just going to Xbow opposite because I do have one archer surviving. Also going to fireball off the princess. And unfortunately, like I said, you cannot do anything against this. I think the biggest thing you can do is maybe get a fireball off on the Knight plus Tesla. But that is going to have to be a pretty good cycle. Like I'm going to have to get a pretty good rhythm going and get into a really nice cycle to make something happen like that. So gonna try my best though. Might start switching to spell cycle as well because I know 7-4 loves fireball cycle against Logbait. He does go gang plus log against my Tesla, so that's just gonna be a -1 for him. So that's really good. Gonna go archers, and E-Spirit down low should help as well. Nice fully countered barrel without the log. Now I'm gonna go in, and if he goes for a gang, I do have a log in cycle. He does go for the Knight Tesla again, though. He's just constantly doing this, and there's not much I can do against it. I, again, really have to have the perfect cycle if I want to break through against that. The one thing I'm scared of is him going for a rocket cycle if I fireball cycle, because he gets Teslas down. But gonna go for a Knight Expo now. This should force a rocket out. If not, I'm not really sure what to say. He does give me a very nice log on the gang with the, or gang plus princess. So gonna go for a Knight in front as well. And wow, unfortunately the Tesla does lock onto my Expo instead. I feel like I got that timing off, but I guess the Knight was just a little bit too late. So unfortunately he is going to be able to get away with the defense there. Gonna E-Spirit to predict the princess at the bridge. Always, I cannot afford to take princess at the bridge damage, and with this hand, I'm kind of worried about the princess. I don't really want to log it, but I know he's going to protect it as well. So yeah, I'm just going to log now, I guess, and make sure it gets taken care of. And gonna go skeletons preemptively against the barrel. Nice, we were able to fully counter again. And then I'm just gonna switch to fireball cycle at this point. This is kind of risky. He does have a princess on the board. I feel like he can just rocket me out if he wants to. But we'll see. Gonna log on the gang plus the princess, and then I'm again gonna have to defend the barrel with archers plus skeletons. And wow, actually I keep getting kind of juked out by that tricky barrel placement. Even happened last game. But gonna go for an Expo right now. Knight to predict the Knight Tesla. There it is, right on cue. And gonna go for archers as well. If he goes for a gang, I'm gonna fireball everything. Like I was saying, I think that's the only play you can make. And nice, we actually do get a connection. He's gonna protect this with everything I have. Gonna Knight at the bridge against the Ice Spirit, not let it lock on. Tesla for the princess, and that is going to be game. Let's go. Like I said, that's literally the only play that you have against that. You have to fireball everything. If you don't, you just don't really have any chance at breaking through. So you really have to get the perfect cycle going. But I'm so glad I was able to. Really nice stuff there. Really nice win against Classic Bait with Tesla. And that is going to put me at 7350 or so. Let's check how many trophies I got total. Yeah, 7,346 because I did get a plus 30 there. So that is going to be ranked 225 in the world. Really nice number in my opinion. I don't know, it just looks nice to me. And really, really nice win against Logbait Tesla. Really happy with that fireball play there. And that is going to be the end of the video, guys. So thank you so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the Expo ladder push. Take care, and I will see you in the next one.